Today we've got Premier League predictions for you. There have been so many changes off the pitch. We've had a World Cup in between, but we are finally back now. So we're going to be going through 20th all the way to 1st. So let's get in to the video. Yes, lads, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we've got it all going on here. We've got our predicted table over on the far right hand side of the screen. We've got the manager, the key player, the best new signing. I'm going to be giving a key player and best new signing for each team. And we've also got where the bookies think they'll finish. We've got last season and also a new feature, the last 5 seasons, just so we can see the club trajectory. How important is it? Not massively, but it's good to see where a club's come from and where they might be going. So before we do get into it and we reveal who is going to be coming last, if you are not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are going to be doing Premier League overviews after every single game week, every single one. We will not be missing them. And the things I've got planned, if you think this looks decent, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But if you think this looks decent, huge plans for the overviews. Cannot wait to get into the season, especially as an Aston Villa fan, a season of change. So let me know in the comments who you support and if you're excited for the season, and of course where you think your team is going to finish. But regardless, enough chit chat. Let's get into the nitty gritty of everything. So in 20th place, finishing bottom of the Premier League, I've gone for, and it might surprise you some of this, or maybe not. Maybe everyone's going to put this, to be fair. It's Hull coming last. Unfortunately for them, I just think it's a bit too big of a step. Look at the last 5 finishes. It's not like they were knocking at the door of the Championship. 19th, 15th, 7th, which was decent, then back down to 21st. Nearly went down and then scraped into the playoffs to get the job done. I just think it's going to be too much for Hull this season. There are so many good teams in this league. They've spent a bit of money. They've gone for it. But ultimately, their fate for me is decided at the bottom of the table. So there you go. In terms of who the key player is, though, I will say Charlie Hughes is going to be a busy man. Going to show everyone he can play Premier League football. So very excited to see what he can do. And then in terms of the best new signing, Jens Hetrodal, on paper, looks to be a really good player. A player that just fits that Premier League build, mould, whatever you want to call it. So I'm expecting big things from him, if anyone, out of all of Hull's new signings. And also bear in mind, there might be more signings made after this video, but as of right now, the week before the season, this is where I stand on this. Bookies also agreeing with me, by the way. Hull are going to come last, so there we go. Now, in 19th place, I've actually agreed with the bookies again, and I've gone for Ipswich Town, managed now by Gary O'Neill, of course. And it's going to be an interesting one for them. What a journey, by the way. I mean, League 2 all the way up to the Premier League. If you can't see it, that is the Premier League logo right there. But League 2, League 1 all the way up to the Premier League. Great journey. They probably got promoted a little bit too quickly last time, and they're going to come up this time. They're going to be giving it a bit of a better go. I actually think that Incisio is a fantastic signing. I've gone for him as their best signing. He'll do very well. And in terms of the key player, I'm looking at Leif Davis. A player who came up and everyone thought he was going to be fantastic. He's now got a few years under his belt. He's played Premier League. He did well last season. I'm just expecting, I don't know why, just looking at who was there from last season to really take that step up. Leif Davis, for me, is the guy to do so. So I'm going to go for him as the key player. But ultimately, similar to Hull, there's a lot of quality in this league. And if any team's going to be able to stay up, I'm not looking at Ipswich as a team to do so. But as these years go by of the yo-yo effect, I'm sure it will leave them in a decent position. And if they make a few more signings like Incisio, maybe they will push other teams down. Now then, in 18th place, we have gone for Fulham. And Josh King's face has been cropped off, so I do apologise for that. Not sure why. But we've gone for Fulham. Bookies think they'll come 16th and that they'll be absolutely, well, I say fine, they'll stay up. And we've gone for 18th. So why have we done that? Well, reason being is Arbeloa, to me, untested when it comes to Premier League football as a manager. How much of an impact will that have? You've got Gonzalo Garcia, who I do think will be their best signing, but he's also unknown at this point, you know? We don't know tons about him, how he'll adapt to English football. And ultimately, they lost some key players. Harry Wilson is a huge loss. Raul Jimenez, as much as he was getting on, a huge loss. There is a lot of variables for Fulham. And by the way, I think maybe the bottom 5 it's going to be close. It is going to be touch and go here and there, and it will come down towards the end of the season. But Fulham, a team that excelled for what they had and what they spent, in my eyes anyway, under Marco Silva, 10th, 13th, 11th, now going to find themselves relegated from the Premier League, which I think some people might say is a bit of a surprise, but Fulham, to me, an absolute banker of the teams who could be in the Premier League now going down to the Championship. And just to touch on Josh King, even though we can't see his face properly, I think he'll just have a great season. He's a quality player and he will be getting snapped up, especially if they go down by a top team sooner rather than later, which means in 17th place, though, guys, it is Coventry City, just staying up. I have been torn as to who this is going to be. Will it be Ipswich, Fulham, Coventry, who I've got in 16th place? Who's actually going to go down and get relegated? And I've gone for Fulham, Ipswich and Hull. I think Coventry will just have enough. My issue with Coventry was that they weren't going to spend the money they needed to spend in order to compete. It looks as though now they are spending that money. An example of this is actually the key player. He was there last season. I've gone for him to be there this season, although they have signed him permanently. It's Carl Rushworth. Really good goalkeeper. Fits that Frank Lampard style of play. They've spent a lot of money on him. Are they going to see the return for that? I think they will. Future England #1, certainly potential to do so. So Rushworth comes in, sorts out that defensive line, gives it a lot of solidity. Caleb Urinchi, I believe that's how you say his name, comes in, really highly thought after player. Michael Essien is actually the manager of Nordsjælland, where he came from. Him and Frank Lampard, former teammates. I wonder if, because Brighton and Bournemouth were apparently in for him, I wonder if that just cemented the deal. So very interesting to see how he gets on in the Premier League. But regardless, a good signing, great signing for Cov. They've still got a few more additions to make, but I think with that home atmosphere, the CBS, when it's going, it's going. It's going to be a tough place to go and play. So I think they will just about stay up. But as I say, it is going to be close. It is going to be close. Now, 16th, I've got Crystal Palace. And again, Jeremy Pino's face has been cut off. So I do apologise for this. This is, there's a quick turnaround on these videos. And you can see that in full display here. But regardless, Pierre Sadji has come in. Looks to be a half-decent manager, but look at that curve of Premier League finishes for Crystal Palace. It is on a downwards trajectory, and I feel as though with Europe again this season, it might just be too much for them to not be in a relegation fight. So maybe the bottom four will be in it till the end, but Palace will certainly be in there for a decent chunk of time. Now, key player, Jeremy Pino, quality, absolute quality of a player. I'm expecting him to have a huge season for Crystal Palace, and if anyone is going to be able to spearhead them towards a decent run in Europe or the FA Cup or staying in the Premier League, I'm looking at him. Best new signing, there was a couple of options, but I've gone for Oscar Mingueza, who really impressed me. I was surprised bigger clubs, and this is no disrespect to Palace, weren't coming in for him because he looks to be the absolute real deal. Villa, even, I was thinking, could they go in for him? We didn't. We were linked. He's gone to Palace, and I think it's a great signing for Palace, who, to be honest with you, should be higher up, but I just think Europe is too hard to balance for them with the squad that they've got. So Palace in 16th. In 15th, I've gone for Sunderland, who, similar to a Crystal Palace, that maybe the difference between the two, both are balancing European football. The difference between the two is I'm looking at Regis Labrie as a manager that's had the Premier League experience. Pierre Sadji has not had that, and that's why I've got them maybe slightly lower. But in terms of who the key player, the best signing is for Sunderland, I'm looking at Talby, who I'm expecting to now have a phenomenal season, adapted to English football. He should be raring to go. And best new signing has to be Thomas Munir, because it's the only signing at this point in time Sunderland have made. So interesting in that sense. And if no signings come in, I will be nudging Sunderland down in these predictions, because as of right now, I'm expecting, of course, they're going to have to make some signings, surely. But as things stand, as I say, it's only Munir has come in. Decent player, but not enough to continue on how good last season was. Again, another club with a great curvature there in terms of where the club is going. You know, from League One all the way up to the Premier League within 5 seasons in European football. So great success from Sunderland. Now, in terms of who's going to finish just above Sunderland, I've gone for Leeds United, who had a stellar season last season. Both of those teams, of course, promoted. And Leeds trying to establish themselves now as a Premier League club. Previously, they came 17th. They just stayed up. Then they went down to 19th, relegated. 2 seasons in the Championship and then back into the Premier League. So they're going to be looking to make sure this time they find themselves a Premier League club continuously. And I think they will. You know, bookies thought they'll finish 12th. I've gone for 14th. I do think there's a bit of quality above them, but they've got a great side. And none more so than Anton Stach. Really, really like this guy. 6'4", gets about lovely. Got a really good technical ability on him. So I think he'll do very well again this season. Will spearhead a lot of games for them and be the main man in the middle of the pitch. As for who I think is going to be their best signing, again, another team with a couple to choose from. James Trafford stood out, but I've gone for Harry Wilson because look at this man's form last season. He could have probably gone higher. He probably could have gone to a European team. There was a lot of wages there. That was probably the problem that they had. But Leeds said, look, mate, come and play for us and we'll give you those wages. So they've given him the wages and I'm now expecting him to have a huge season for Leeds. So will Leeds be pushing in the cups? Absolutely. Could I see Leeds winning an FA Cup, a League Cup? Absolutely. I think they've got every potential to do so. They're a tough team to beat. Across 38 games, though, I think it will be a bottom half finish for them. In 13th place, just above Leeds, we have got Nottingham Forest, now managed, of course, by Oliver Glasner. I think, again, they will have a decent season-ish in terms of where they come. It'll be Glasner's first season, a bit of stability maybe coming in. And, yeah, it will just be an average season for them. Improvement on 16th last season, not as high as the bookies have them, though, in 10th place. And I think it will be interesting to see because Oliver Glasner, everyone talks him up to be a great coach. And he's a good coach. But are we able to see him do this at a new club? There was talks of Manchester United, Chelsea. Where's Glasner going to go? I think this is his level. I have to say, I've never been, even as a Villa fan, you're probably thinking, why the hell are you saying that? Because he has got Unai Emery's number. But as a general coach, I think he's just decent. I don't think he's as good as people hype him up to be. But anyway, regardless, I think when you look at the curve as well, 16th, 17th, 7th, which was an overachieve, and then back down to 16th, I think this is there or thereabouts for them. So, key player, Morgan Gibbs-White, as long as he wears red and white and Nottingham Forest on the badge, he will be their key player, no shadow of a doubt. And in terms of the best new signing, I've gone for Ousmane Diomande, who a lot of clubs seem to be in for him. And when I did the video talking about one signing every club needs, he was who I chose for Forest because the way that Glasner plays, did they have a player like Diomande in the club at the time? I didn't think they did, and they need someone like him. So a great bit of business to go and get him, but regardless, still not enough to push them any higher than 13th. Now, 12th place, I've gone for Everton, who, of course, came 13th last season, 12th this season, and you can see that Premier League curve there. It is just mediocrity, time after time after time again, and I've chosen the picture of David Moyes where he's been, is he Sir David Moyes now? I don't know what that medal means, but regardless, David Moyes, a legend in the game. Is he the man to take Everton forward? Not for me. Not for me. Great manager, but not for me. And I think we'll see that this season. They'll start poorly, and then I can imagine that David Moyes gets sacked around Christmas. They recover, find themselves in mid-table, and they'll go again the season after. Now, key player, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, quality, absolute quality. I was going to go for Ndiaye, but I thought if he does move on, and there's lots of talk of that happening, I don't think he will personally, but if he does, who's going to be the main man? It's Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. Quality player, and he will be absolutely on it from minute one, as he always is. Very consistent player. And then as for the best new signing, I've gone for Hayden Hackney, because a lot of people, maybe Everton fans, haven't watched the Championship much from last season. This lad is phenomenal. And you've signed Norgard, of course, who you're going to probably say, well, it'll be him and Garner. Hold your horses, because Hayden Hackney has all the ability to force his way into this team. And I think Garner and Hackney is a quality midfield pairing with Norgard to rotate. Really, really good depth in that position specifically. So yeah, Hayden Hackney to be the key signing. So then, as for 11th place then, well, it is Brentford. Give me a second, we'll flip back. There we go. Annoys me that it does that. needed to fix that, but we've done it now. This is the last season prediction video. So, but anyway, it is Brentford, managed, of course, by Keith Andrews. The bookies have got them to finish in 14th. Last season was 9th. I've gone for them to finish 11th. And I don't really know why the bookies have got them to finish so low, because they have got such a good team. Really like their team, and their recruitment is spot on. None more so than Mamadou Sangare. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I've watched this guy play hundreds of times, but I've seen the clips and I've seen just how good this man is statistically as well. Absolutely phenomenal. And 13th, 9th, 16th, 10th, 9th, I just feel like it's just a solid trajectory. And I just think they'll come mid-table again. And it'll be a very impressive season again for Keith Andrews. Key player Igor Thiago, a real good bit of business to keep him at the club because he is also really, really good. So they keep finding these gems, keep bringing them in. And Igor Thiago, a prime example of the players that have now settled. I don't see why you'd say they're going to come any less than 11th, personally. A lot to like about Brentford, a lot of good things going on. But anyway, in 10th place, we have got Brighton, who have got to be the most nailed on 10th, 9th place that you've ever seen. You know what I mean? Bookies think they'll come 9th. Last season was 8th. I think they'll come 10th. I just think there's a bit of quality above them personally. They've got Fabian Hertzer, who's a good coach, who's establishing himself, finding his feet as a young manager. It all makes sense. It really, really does. Now, and look at the consistency across the previous finishes. It is there to be seen. They are a mid-table team in Europe this season, but a mid-table team. Now, in terms of who I'm looking at to be their key player, I've gone for Mitoma. Has struggled with injuries, but he is night and day their best player when he's fit. So let's hope he can stay fit. Well, not from a Villa perspective, but let's hope he can stay fit. And if he does, absolutely he will go on to be their key player. In terms of the best new signing, I've got Luka Vuskovic signed from Spurs. It's almost like a swap deal for Van Hecke, and I think he is going to prove to be a better signing for Brighton than Van Hecke is for Spurs. So I don't think you can bookmark a YouTube video, but come back to this if at the end of the season and you'll see I think I will be right on that one. So a very solid player there. And it will just be another Brighton season of just cementing themselves as a top half regular in the Premier League, mid-table regular. And yeah, hopefully they can go far in Europe and manage to win the Europa Conference League as well. That'd be a great achievement for Brighton, who have, really fought their way to be that established mid-table top half Premier League team, which is nice to see. So then, in 9th place, and it's getting juicy now, we're getting to that crunch point of the table. I've gone for Newcastle. Now, I have to say, Matthias Jassale, I really, really like this guy. From what I've seen, he's got every characteristic to go on to be a top coach in the Premier League. And Newcastle, a great club to be at, to do it with. And I still feel as though they're going to need some movement. But a lot of people are looking at this and thinking this is so doom and gloom. They've lost Tonali, they've lost Bruno, they've lost Gordon. I don't think it's as doom and gloom as you might think. And I think genuinely they'll surprise a few people because they've still got some good players with a few more to come in. And I just think this man as a coach is going to do everything possible to propel them to 9th place, not quite 8th place where the bookies thought they would be, but a top half Premier League finish, one where people are just writing them off because they're not looking at who's come in and how good they actually are, and also who's left at the club. So for example, Lewis Miley, he's their key player for me. I think he will thrive under Jassale. I need to work out to say his name. Jaisal. But regardless, he'll thrive, right? So he's going to be a player that's going to be relied upon, same as Jacob Ramsey. I was torn between the two. Both have a bit of a bad injury track record, to be fair, but those two in particular, it's their chance to go and cement themselves as a first-team regular and really make that step up. And I think Miley, as a local lad, will go on to do so. Now, as for the best new signing, it's Bazumana Toure. This guy, go and watch some compilations. He looks to be the real deal. Plays on the left-hand side. Is a Gordon replacement. Really, really strong stats. And also visibly when you watch him, you can just tell he's got it. Do you know what I mean? He's just got it. And I'm excited to see what he can do. So a season that maybe not many are predicting for Newcastle in terms of a positive-ish one. And a season of change, certainly, in terms of transitioning from Eddie Howe to Mateus. We'll call him Mateus. To Mateus. And moving forward. So there we go. That is 9th place. Now, 8th place, even though the bookies have got them 13th, I've gone for Bournemouth. Now, why the bookies have got them so low, I do not know. The curve, look at it. It's just beautifully straight, going upwards, bit by bit by bit. 15th, 12th, 9th and 6th. And they have got such a good recruitment system. It is phenomenal how good they are at spotting talent and bringing it in. None more so than the two players on screen. Rayan, absolute quality. He's going to have a stellar season for Bournemouth and pick up where he left off after signing in January. Antonio Silva, again, just if you've played Football Manager, you know how good this guy is, but he backs it up in real life as well. So the fact that they've managed to get him, they're ahead of the curve, really good. I like Marco Rose. I think he'll suit the Premier League very well. So I just think for Bournemouth, 13th place, it's a bit of an over-exaggeration. I think they'll be absolutely fine, but everyone will doubt Bournemouth going into every season and they'll continue to defy the odds, even if they've got the worst shirt sponsor I've ever seen. But there you go. So that is Bournemouth in seventh place. I've gone for Spurs, who believe that they're going to come in sixth place to the bookies. Now, under Roberto De Zerbi, they looked a far better team. He arguably kept them up. But let's not forget, if Aston Villa hadn't have dropped points to Spurs, Spurs would be in the Championship right now. That's a fact. That is a fact. So De Zerbi came in, he made it better, but the back-to-back 17th places, I think it will be a lot better. But I can't justify putting them any higher than 7th because I just, even with, like, for example, Villa are clearly above them because I haven't revealed them yet. Even with Villa having mass changes, 17th to 7th place, it's a huge jump, a massive jump from a squad. Yes, newcomers have come in, but for a squad that really, really struggled the last 2 years. And I still think they need a striker desperately, personally anyway. But anyway, the key player, Mickey van der Ven, he'll play left back, he'll play centre back, wherever De Zerbi needs him to do. Quality, if he can stay fit, he should wear the captain's armband. Quality player. In terms of the best new signing, it was Tonali, Fernandes. They're the names that are sticking out. I've gone with Fernandes. I think he will have a fantastic season for Spurs. He'll just be full of energy, up and down, exactly what Spurs needed, in my opinion. Is he just like a better player than Papsar? I feel like that's just like an upgrade there. So credit to them for getting that done. And also as well, Kudus coming back from injury. Kudasevsky, remember him? Yeah, he's still alive and he still plays football. So he's coming back. If he can get up to speed as well, should be a great addition for Spurs to have back in the middle of the pitch. So now then, in 6th place, we have got my team, Aston Villa. And a lot of bookies think 7. A lot of people think Villa might be one of those teams that, oh my goodness me, I've used the format of the Championship. Oh, for God's sake, right? Do you know what? Because we're getting this out, I'm filming this the day this comes out. I apologize, but we're gonna roll with it. Villa are getting the playoffs. No, I do apologize about this. I should have checked this, but again, time pressures. The season is right around the corner. I've still got some videos to do before the season comes out, so just pretend that says Europa League. All right, cheers. Anyway, regardless, Villa, look at that trajectory. The curve is fantastic. In terms of Unai Emery, what he's done has been sensational. A lot of people might think we're going to finish mid-table, and I can understand the panic, but let me just tell you something right here, right now, okay? Unai Emery does not need good players to succeed in football. Unai Emery makes players. Who was Morgan Rogers before Unai Emery? Who was Yuri Tielemans before Unai Emery? Yes, he's had a good career, but he was rotting on the bench at Leicester at this time. Ezri Konsa was a good centre-back before Unai Emery. Now he's a great centre-back. Ollie Watkins was a good player before Unai Emery. Now he's a great centre-forward. You get my point. I could go on all day. He turns chocolate... Oh, I forgot the phrase. God damn it. I forgot the phrase. But he's just that good, all right? He can turn players into something else. And that's what he'll do again. Key player, John McGinn. The season full of change. John McGinn's going to be the glue that holds it all together. Best signing, João Gomez. Quality player, so good. He's a bit like Onana, he's a bit like Kamara, has shades of Tielemans in him as well. Cannot wait to see him playing Premier League football. In pre-season, he looks fantastic. So look, we're going to get the Europa League. Everyone needs to calm down. People are worried about Villa. Where are they going to finish? Just calm down. Unai Emery's got it. Champions League football. I believe in this squad. I believe in Unai Emery wholeheartedly. So I hope that doesn't come across biased, all right? Because I've tried to genuinely do this as unbiased as possible. But anyway, 5th place, we've got Liverpool. Now, Liverpool might just be missing out on the Champions League. I believe that 5th place will get Champions League again. But Liverpool, it's not going to be the season that probably people were hoping for under Iraola, who will be a good manager for Liverpool. It will suit the style of play Liverpool fans like. I still feel as though there's a few holes in this Liverpool squad. I mean, centre-back is one example. I think one injury Leone's coming back from long-term, Jackett's coming back from long-term injury. So it's Van Dijk against the world, really, you know. But I have gone for Jackett to be the best signing because I feel as though with Van Dijk, he will then begin to fill that gap and he'll be the starting centre-back and he'll have a very good first season in Liverpool red. Unlike the key player, Florian Wirtz, who was decent at times but had a very poor season in terms of what people expected from him in his first season. Now, Wirtz, for me, he's beefed up. He looks to be a stronger player. That was my big annoyance with him. He's get the ball, do a lovely turn, and just get muscled out of the game. Not even a foul, just push to one side. Florian, mate, I'll take that from here. Thank you. That's not the Premier League. You have to be able to deal with that. So seeing him make the physical changes he needed to do, great to see. And I think he'll have a stellar season for Liverpool. So they are going to come fifth and in the Champions League. Now, fourth place, I've gone for Manchester United, who bookies think, they think fifth. I've gone for fourth. I think balancing European football is going to be tougher than people are giving credit for. Therefore, they might find themselves a little bit lower down than maybe, third last season. Lots of change at the top with managers. Could they mount a title charge? Hold your horses, not just yet. But they'll certainly still have a very good season and a bit of stability after 15th place as well. It's been here, there and everywhere. So a bit of stability will be great for them. And in terms of who I believe the key player will be, of course, Bruno Fernandes is going to be a key player. But Bryan Mbeumo, for me, has the potential to go on to have a huge season for United and really steal the show. And it's probably down to the fact that it's not just Bruno Fernandes playing in unbelievable balls, because the key signing, the best new signing, is Youri Tielemans, who from deep will play that ball. If you liked Ollie Watkins at Villa, Mbeumo can play off the right. I think he'll go up front personally. But like Ollie Watkins, Mbeumo, a very similar mould. Youri Tielemans from deep, clips the ball in, Mbeumo's in, he will score a lot of goals. So those two there will be key in that, and in between them is Bruno Fernandes. So United will be absolutely fine this season. Third place, I've gone for Manchester City. Second is where the bookies think they'll be. Enzo Maresca, if you're looking at the Community Shield and you're thinking, whoa, they should be fifth place or sixth place, hold your horses. No, they shouldn't. They really shouldn't, It's an overreaction. They've played against a very good Arsenal team. Erling Haaland, he'll have a stellar season, as he always does. Maresca's football style is very similar to Pep's. It's not that much of a transition as people think it is. Will they get close to the title? I don't think they will. I think it will be first and second that go for it categorically, and they'll, just fall off a little bit, and United and City will be competing for the sort of third, fourth, fifth, maybe with Liverpool, and then sixth and seventh with Villa and Spurs. They'll be in a separate bit themselves. But, Haaland will always do what Haaland does. He'll always score goals. As I say with Maresca, it's not as much as a transition as people are making out. And the best new signing, Elliot Anderson, £116 million, quality in the middle of the pitch. There's talk of Enzo Fernandez, so they will be absolutely fine. They're signing Premier League experience. They've got money to burn. They've got money to spend. They can still go out and spend it. The defence is class. Don't let a Community Shield cloud your judgment, all right? Don't let it do that, okay? They're going to come third. They'll be absolutely fine. So now we're down to the top two, and we've got two teams, Chelsea and Arsenal. And I believe that Arsenal are going to bottle it once again. No, I don't. It's going to be Chelsea, isn't it? Oh my. What is it with these pictures, man? Honestly, I've never had this issue before. This video, the fact we've got 4 teams in the playoffs. Do you know what? It's carnage. It's not normally carnage. I was away last weekend. I'm trying to get all these videos out. My bad, guys. Forgive me. But anyway, as far as Chelsea go, why it won't be Chelsea that actually go on and win the league is just, even though they've only got one game, bookies think they'll come fourth. They came 10th last season. I firmly believe in Xabi Alonso. I think he's a fantastic manager. He'll do very well. I think the signings they've been made have been superb. I like Henderson. I like Welbeck. I like also Morgan Rogers. They've made good signings. They're going to be in a position with the one game a week to really, really challenge Cole Palmer, Xabi Alonso to get the best out of him. Morgan Rogers will be an absolute gem for them. So Chelsea, look at the instability. This is where it really begins for them. Xabi Alonso to take them to the next level. So with that in mind, we all know what that means. It means that Arsenal are going to finish first. this is just a no-brainer for me. If they don't win the league, it's a massive, massive bottle. I have to say, a huge bottle if they don't go and win the Premier League. Very disappointed if they don't, because they're the best squad in this league. They've got a manager that was there last season, the longevity, second, first. Like, this, if there's going to be an Arsenal dynasty, this is where it starts. Key player, Declan Rice. Quality. Last season, superb. He is the glue for that team that holds it all together. And then you go and chuck Bruno Guimaraes in there. I mean, those two in centre midfield is going to be an absolute joke, with Odegaard in front of them maybe. The passing link-up, it's going to be so, so good. So Arsenal have got themselves a superb team, and they will go on to win the Premier League. It is as simple as that, guys. As much as I may not want it to happen, which I don't, it's happening. So there you go. And that is the Premier League predictions, guys. We have done it all. I apologise. It's still in the Championship format. Well, it's not even in the Championship format because there's 8 teams that get the playoffs. But I do apologise for that. However, top 5, I think Liverpool, United, City, Chelsea, Arsenal. Rest of Europe being Villa, Spurs, Bournemouth, probably Newcastle and Brighton as well, the way it goes in terms of how many English teams get in Europe. But that is it. That is it. I think that Coventry going to stay up. That's the headline from down the bottom. Fulham getting relegated. But guys, get in the comments. Let me know your season predictions. I'm very keen to see where you guys all think they will come. If you have enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button, because as I say, the overviews are coming and I've built a custom UI for the overviews. I think it's going to look great. So thank you so much for watching this one. Drop a like on this video as well. And as always, I will catch you on the next one.
Just tell me why.